normal casual discussion.
Okay, okay. So we'll have one page read by one person. 30 people are
Yes,
there.
that will be
Just hold on 1 minute. I'll just recording. No, just hold on. Just hold on. Got it. Okay. Okay, fine. So, who all are there today from the who are attempting in May? Anjana, you're writing in May.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Anjana, I feel you should read. If Radhyuna is not willing to read. For Hariharan, you'll sing. For me, you can't read.
I'll read.
Ah, sure. Oh, so sad this is. Like, I feel very
what
sad.
a
For
what a
Hariharan,
statement.
for Hariharan, sir, you sang, you danced, whatever. For me, one simple reading, you. What, Anjana?
I'll read, sir.
Please read. If you want, you can sing and read also. Which is the latest song you're singing? How's the preparation going on? See, so many people are there. All these people are amazing. Mehek Fatima, they. Hi, Mehek. Mehek, she's there, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm there, sir.
How are you, Mehek?
I'm fine, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, fine. There's Bhumika. There are all these people are very good readers. Who else is there? Bhumika, you're there, right?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Bhumika.
Hello, sir.
And then who else is there? See, if you go through the list only, Chinmay, you'll find so many readers. All these people are writing in May.
You want May 23 readers, okay.
Huh?
Everybody is talented in reading, sir.
Yeah. Everybody is talented in reading. So you don't worry if somebody's
We are only waste people.
if in not waste people in the sense that if he might not be in a mood to read, no, he's preparing or something. So
Yes, sir. That's what
sometimes
we
you're not.
thought, sir. I don't want to read today.
Yeah, let it be. No problem. No, sometimes your mood isn't there, so you shouldn't force somebody. Correct? But Anjana, you can force. Anjana, you're not in a mood. Huh?
No, sir. I can read.
Yeah, you read. Doesn't matter. So she'll read. No problem. You just share the screen. So just to briefly tell you all, because we have a limited time, I won't be able to put on my video. There is some problem with the issue again that USB at the back has to be fixed again. Just understand that your entire strategy.
Waiting room.
Sir, leave the meeting.
Yeah.
What just happened?
He was in the waiting room.
What? Huh?
Ah.
Why are you spotlighting me?
Sorry. I want to co-host. Oh,
Sir, if you can hear us, you're on mute.
Then call using iPhone.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Again, you started recording.
No,
Chinmay?
sir. Apparently, you were in the waiting room.
I went to the waiting room. Huh?
Yeah. I put your name to search as to what happened.
Put me as a co-host, right?
Yes, sir.
Then you can't put me to the waiting room, right? Okay, doesn't matter. Let's continue.
I cannot, sir.
Okay, so just understand this, that I'll just start again. Your strategic management paper is of 50 marks. I told you 15 marks is the MCQs. And I'll talk about the MCQs just in a little while. Besides the MCQs, you also have 35 marks of papers. Just hold on, I think. So my mom has come. Just 1 minute, just one. All this time only. Just hold on.
Ritik, referencer, I say anything.
One with the 62 pages. No?
Yes. Who is sharing this screen? You or you?
No, I don't know.
One of your response.
I'm meeting, so I cannot unmute and talk. Please understand.
Yes or no? Yes, no.
Yeah, I'll share. Okay.
Pradyumna, you're sharing the screen. This is what happens if I don't.
I just said that.
That's
You
what
didn't hear.
I heard you. That's what also said yes. That's why. ಏನ್ ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು ರವಿ? ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಕುಡ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಟೀ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕುಡ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ ಕುಡ್ದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಮ ಮನೇಲಿ. ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ ಪಾನಕ ನಿಂಬೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ಬೇಲ್ದಂಡ್ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. Videos days. Prithviraj, you had a haircut or what?
No,
His
I washed my hair. No. I didn't have a haircut.
Rutvik.
Not you.
Call Prithvi.
Okay. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I
Yes.
audible?
Sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
let's
sir.
continue. So out of the 35 marks which you'll have in the theory, the first 5 marks is compulsory, right? So you'll get a question, anything on 5 marks, it can come from strategic management process or whatever. The remaining, you get 4 questions of 10 marks each, where you have to answer any 3, right? And most of these 4 questions are divided of 10 marks each are divided into 5 and 5, 6. I don't think so. They go more than 5. They go 5, 5, 5, 5. I think so. The 4th question, the last question is 8 and 2, where they'll ask you to small things. When you go through the papers, you'll come to know. Now, when you're choosing these questions, be a little careful, because at least 1 or 2 out of these will have case studies. Mr. A is a manager in a firm. He likes to interact with his employees and he tries to bring out the best in him. Mr. B is the manager of another company who gets the work done through giving incentives and doling out layoff letters. Which characteristic or which type of leader is A, which type of leader is B? So you'll say transformational leader and transactional leader. Like that, they will give you some question. So if you're not comfortable with case studies, attempt the questions which do not have
Case studies.
understand. Do the questions
Yes, sir.
where you can answer directly. Michael Motors 5-force model, what are the different types of strategic audit? All those you can attempt those also, but you will again encounter case studies when you have the MCQs. So the MCQs also will have case studies. When you go through the paper, you'll come to know that. If you go through the last 2-3 years papers, you'll come to know that even in those 15 marks, there will be a lot of, they'll say that X Limited is manufacturing hair dye and is located itself in and is selling in India, Bangladesh and Nepal. In the recent past, they have decided to foray into European countries with an improved hair dye. This is A, market development, B, market penetration, C, market product development, D, diversification. So you'll have to choose the right. Now, since I said they're going into a European market with a new hair dye, it will be diversification. What it will be a? If they say existing hair dye, it would have been market development. What it would have been? Market development. Understood, all of y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you keep this in mind. Absolutely important, absolutely imperative that you go through those 4 questions and choose the right 3 questions to answer. Okay, so I just wanted to tell these 3 small 2 things before you get into the paper. So 15 marks MCQs, first 5 mark compulsory, the next 4 questions of 10 marks each, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 8, 2 or 6, 4 or 3, like that only. You have to choose the, you have to choose any 3. What you have to choose any 3 out of, so 30 marks you'll have to choose and 5 marks is compulsory. Now, you can't leave out any chapters and all that becomes because they are very smart. They mix and match the questions. So first 5 marks will be from chapter 1, then the next 5 marks will be from chapter 8. So you don't know which one they'll mix and match. And you don't even know from which type they give case study. Then I've already told you how to analyze the case study Unlike business law, where you have facts, provisions, analysis, conclusion, here you have only facts, analysis, and conclusion. So you write the facts of the case, analysis of the case, correct or no? In the analysis itself, you mentioned what are the management concepts which are using: market share, market development, BCG matrix, whatever there, right? Analyzing it through the concept of the theories which you have studied, and then you write the conclusion, or then you write the. So always go through that route: facts, analysis, and conclusion. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
yeah, now the referencer is there, Chinmay.
Yes,
You're sharing it, then Anju will read.
Yes,
Anjana?
sir.
Pradyumna is sharing, sir. I'm having it in my
Yes.
group.
Anjana, can you see it?
Yes, sir. Shall I start?
Yeah. Please start. How many pages
Do
is
you
this
want me
entire
to zoom
reference?
in?
Do you want to zoom in? Anjana is asking you.
It's fine, sir.
It's fine, right? You don't have to strain your eyes or anything, huh?
No.
No. Yeah, tell me, Anjana. Anjana, you seem to be very happy and all set, huh?
No, sir.
I don't know. Whenever you speak, it sounds like you're smiling and laughing and talking at the same time. So it's very nice to hear. What, Chinmay, does she smile and talk, or what does she do? I can't see her, so it gives the impression that she's laughing and talking at the same time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She lells.
Huh?
She lells, sir. Laughs and talks tells at the same time.
She laughs and talks at the same time. So cute. Adorable. Adorable. Come on, Anjana.
Yes, sir. Shall I start?
Please. First you laugh and then you start, okay? 1, 2, 3. First start.
Yes.
Okay, start.
Yes. Chapter 1, Introduction to Strategic Management.
Ah.
Business Policy. Origin of business policy is traced back to 1911. In 1969, the American Assembly of Collegiate Schools of Business made the course a mandatory requirement for business schools.
You imagine you read all this and all, we'll finish only one chapter. God, just read the headings and forget it. I'll explain all this. You're crazy. You read all this. Okay, so I'll just briefly run through the first chapter. Read the heading. First one is business policy, right? So remember the origin of strategic management is a word called business policy, which was introduced in the American system 1911. And then it was compulsory for all managers to learn business policy. After that, the word became what it became: long-term strategy. Then it became strategic management. What it became? Strategic management, right? So the origin of this is when, and then we told that the word strategy can be defined as a long-term blueprint of a desired direction and destination of a business, what a company wants to be, what it wants to do, and where it wants to go. So any long-term directional plan of an organization is its strategy. So there is a strategy for HP, Hewlett Packard, that we want to expand our business not only into the hardware of selling computers, but also into cloud storage. That's why they've set up a separate unit called DXC in the next 5 years. So that becomes a strategy for the organization. What's the difference between strategy and strategic management? Well, strategy is only the long range blueprint of the business. The strategic management is all the 4 parts: the analysis, the planning, the implementation, and the control. What the analysis, planning, implementation, and control. So you're analyzing what business has to be done. You are planning for the future. You implement the strategy, and then you control, right or no? So that is the analysis, planning, implementation, and control. So it's not only the planning part. The planning part is called strategy, but also implementing and controlling is the other 2 parts of strategic management. Okay, continue. Just read the headings, Anjana.
Yes, sir. So next is the definition of business policy and the importance,
Okay.
then concept of management.
Okay, so understand that strategic management also has one more word called management. And you know what is management? The process of planning, organizing, directing, staffing, coordinating, controlling, reporting, and budgeting. That fourth scope we discussed, right? Right. So the main five fingers of management are planning, organizing, directing, staffing, and controlling. So when you include the management functions into strategy, it becomes strategic management.
Management.
Yeah. Next, quick.
Concept of strategy. So there are two definitions.
Yeah. So please go through the definitions of strategy, whichever they've given. Learn any one or two of those definitions, and you'll be a little more. Then.
Yes, sir. Then it's strategy, partly proactive and partly reactive.
Okay. What do you mean by this? Anybody wants to try? What is strategy? Partly proactive, and partly reactive. Who are the people from the P's? The Q's are the one who are attempting in November, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ritik, choose some P's.
Yes, sir. Anaga Chakravarti, P1.
Huh? Anaga. Hi, Anaga. Anaga.
Yes.
Hi, Anaga. What is strategy? It's partly proactive, partly reactive.
Yes, sir. Being like proactive is the part of the managers of the company where they have to determine the market like the performance of the market and they have to plan accordingly. And being reactive is after there is a fresh market condition, they have to plan a strategy accordingly. Excuse me, sir.
Okay. You mute yourself. Okay, so partly proactive. Proactive is when you make a long-term plan that we will do this after in the next 2 years. We're going to start up these many enterprises. We're going to expand in these many countries. Reactive is that all long-term plans cannot be made because there will be certain deviations. There will be certain changes in the environment, and at that time, the strategy has to change according to the. Now, for example, let's say a company like Himalaya makes a strategy for the next 5 years, marketing strategy for the next 5 years as to how it wants to market its Himalaya products and etc. And suddenly the IPL comes up and they have a strategy where one of the sponsors has backed out from one of the teams, like Rajasthan Royals. So they're proactive. They say, okay, we'll get a lot of coverage in the IPL because now for 51 days there are going to be so many matches, and if our Himalaya Apis Honey or something is on the Apis Honey is one product made by Himalaya is on the jersey, we'll get it. So they change their marketing strategy. They say we won't spend 75 crores in print advertisement. Instead, we'll spend it on the IPL. So they are doing partly proactive and partly reactive. So a strategy can be partly proactive and partly reactive. Next one, heading.
Yes, sir. Abandoned strategy features.
Huh? What?
No, sir. It's just the same thing.
I don't know what's the heading. What did you read? I didn't get it.
Go up, no problem. Sir, it's abandoned strategy features.
Okay. They're giving you the strategic features of a strategy. Correct? Or no? Just read the features quickly.
Yes, sir. Company experiences, know-how, resource strength, and weaknesses.
Okay, leave all this rubbish. Go to the next one.
Yes. Yes, sir. So next is strategic management. So the process of developing and then concept and objectives.
Yeah. So we understood what is strategic management, and we said that strategy is different from strategic management because it requires implementation. Next heading.
Importance of strategic management.
That and all you'll all know. Strategic management is so important. Why is it so important? So you all know, right? The long-term success and failure of a business depends on its strategy. It helps in allocating resources. It helps in meeting competition. So everything is there. And sometimes what happens is, you all think these type of questions don't come in the exam. Okay, importance of strategic management. They don't come in the way in which they'll ask you what is the importance of strategic management, correct or no? But they might give a statement and they might ask you to comment. They'll say strategic business management is to the business what The I's are for a human being. Comment. So you'll have to say the strategy gives the vision to the business, and then you write all the importance of the
Strategic management.
yeah. Okay. So might be they don't give it to you directly, but they might give it to you. So don't leave out anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, next one.
The next is limitations.
That also you all know. No, what are the limitations? Sometimes it's very expensive. It takes time to implement, and some strategies are very rigid, so they don't change according to it. So these are all the headache. Next.
Yes, the next is strategic levels in organizations.
So all of you all know the three levels: corporate level, business level, and functional level. Corporate level is for the whole entire group. Business level is for a specific business within that particular group, and functional level is for that particular function within that business. No, so for example, let's say Anjana has a 3-4 companies, one on cosmetics, one on apparel, one on health products. Now Anjana health products, Anjana apparel, and Anjana cosmetics, all these three, the entire strategy for all these three businesses will be the corporate level. Only for Anjana apparels it will be business level. Within Anjana apparels, the production strategy will be the functional level. Okay.
Yes.
Next.
Yes, and next is in strategic management in government, not-for-profit, educational institutions, medical organizations, government agencies.
Yeah, so you know that strategic management is not used only for business enterprises. It's used in non-profit organizations like Child Relief and you. It's used in educational institutions like the Cambridge University or the Stanford University. It's used in medical organizations, whether it's Apollo Pharma or Apollo Hospitals, correct? And it's used by government. Let's say the government's space department will have a strategy of how to launch the next satellite. They're planning to send a man on the moon, just like you had Mangalyaan, no? They have Chandrayaan, which will come in the next 7 years. 2030, they want to put an Indian on the moon. So like that, even government organizations have strategy. So the strategy is not found only for one thing. It's found for so many things, right?
Yes.
Anjana, we have finished in half an hour, one chapter. Now 1.5 hours, we have to finish 7 chapters. And this was supposed to be the shortest chapter. Can you believe it? So what we are going to do is we're going to really go a little fast now. Let's go to chapter 2, right?
Yes, sir. Dynamics of competitive strategy. So first is competitive strategy.
Okay, so we'll just go through this. This is a very important chapter because it's one of the largest chapters. So we discussed that the dynamics of competitive strategy. We discussed what is competitive landscaping. Anybody remembers what is competitive landscaping? Seeing what the competitors will do, understanding the competitor, understanding their strengths, their weaknesses, and bringing out a list of all the competitors along with their strengths and weakness and understanding them is competitive landscaping. Just read the headings quickly, Anjana.
Yes, sir. So competitive strategy, competitive landscape, strategic analysis.
Strategic analysis, you all know, no? Internal and external, SWOT, strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. And the practical application of SWOT is the TOES matrix, NCL rich, right?
Yes.
Then
Issues to consider for strategic analysis. Framework of strategic analysis.
Yeah. Then
Industry and competitive analysis.
Industry and competitive analysis, we discussed all the key, what we discussed so many important points here. Strategic matching the strengths and weaknesses with the opportunities and threats, or getting the strategic fit. We also discussed KSF, what are key success factors, what are the most important factors of an industry which will determine success. So for apparel, it will be style, cloth texture, and the affordability. For an airline industry, it will be punctuality, affordability, and service. Like that, for each industry, there are certain factors which determine success or failure, right?
Yes. Next is core competence.
So we discussed what is core competence, a set of competencies within a business which it combines to achieve a competitive advantage is its core competence. And we discussed that there were four aspects of core competence. No, it should be valuable, it should be rare, it should be non-imitable, and it should not be substitutable, right?
Yes.
VRIS, I told you all to remember Varara, Widely, Sambar and all. Remember? So it should be valuable, it should give some value to the business. It should be rare, it should be non-imitable, and it should be non-substitutable. What? It should be non-substitutable. Correct? Next.
Yes, a value chain analysis.
What is value chain analysis? Anybody? Ritvik, you want to tell? Hey, Ritvik, are you there?
No, sir.
Ritvik, you're not there.
I am there, sir.
Yeah, what has happened, Ritvik? You're not in a
Sir,
good
nothing,
mood.
sir.
Huh?
No, sir, not like that. I'm in a good mood.
Whose mood was? Because Pradyumna is upset, you're also upset.
I'm not upset,
Because
sir.
Pradyumna won't talk, even you won't talk. Pradyumna
No,
lead
I am
Belpuri, you will
talking,
get
sir.
Pradyumna lead
Nothing like that,
Belpuri.
sir.
Pradyumna lead Belpuri, you will get loose motions. Why you're doing like this? Why? See, Ritvik, I'm depending on you. This time in strategic management, I've changed all the examples. What I gave last time, I'm not giving the same examples at all, right?
Yes,
All because
sir.
of you, Ritvik. I said no, Ritvik, Chinmay, and
Why,
all. You
sir?
give- I said no, I'll give them different examples. I'll learn, no? So I'm giving them much better examples, much more better. So this time I'm preparing much more for strategic management than I used to prepare when I was in the previous, right? You can make out, no, Chinmay, Ritvik.
Yes, sir. The examples are different.
Examples are completely different, correct or no? More relevant for you.
I'm noting down the new examples also, sir.
Note down both and give it to me. Because this time
Yes, sir.
the preparation is on a different level. Correct or no? So understand this value chain analysis was given by Michael Porter. He said that whenever a product goes through, there are two set of activities. One are primary activities, one are support activities. These primary and support activities can add value to the firm by either increasing its profitability when the company can charge more for the product, or they can increase the profitability by reducing cost. How do you add profitability to the company by reducing cost or increasing the price of the product? By concentrating on a set of value generating activities. What are the primary activities? Inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing, and services. 5. There are 4 support activities. What are the 4 support activities? Technology, human resource, infrastructure, and after sale. Not after sale. What are the first? Huh?
Procurement.
And procurement. Okay. So these are the 4 support activities. So if you concentrate on any of these, it can take. But if you want to develop a sustainable core competence through value analysis, what do you should do? So in the exam, they'll ask you, what does a company do if it wants to develop a sustainable core competition through value analysis? You have to create value linkages. What you have to create? Value linkages. How do you create value linkages? By either linking 2 primary activities, linking 2 support activities, or linking 1 primary and 1 support activity. So we discussed this also. Anjana, read the next one.
Yes, a competitive advantage.
So we discussed competitive advantages. What are there are 4 characters: durability, non-imitability, then non-substitutability, and which is that appropriability, right? There are 4 characteristics, right?
Yes.
Competitive. Have they mentioned that? No.
No.
Durability, imitability, appropriability, and substitutability, right? So the 4 I told you to remember what is the, no not transferability. I'm so sorry. So it is durability, imitability, appropriability, and transferability. And I told you that the more the durability, the more the competitive advantage. the more the imitability, the less the competitive advantage. The more I told you the first and last one are the durability, imitability, transfer. Last one was appropriability, right? Yeah. So durability and appropriability are directly proportional to competitive advantage. Imitability and transferability are inversely proportional to competitive advantage. Right. So we discussed this also. Let's go to the next one.
Portfolio analysis.
So portfolio analysis, when a company has a set of products, businesses, etc., what do? They have to analyze each of the businesses or each of the products and they come out with product. We discussed experience curve. We discussed product life cycle. We discussed strategic business unit. And then there are different techniques of portfolio analysis, which are basically the matrices. So all of you will remember BCG matrix, market share and market growth rate, correct or no? They'll have the stars, the cash cows, the dogs, and the question marks or problem child. And I told you the GE matrix is the development over the BCG matrix. Market share is replaced with market attractiveness. Business strength. And market growth rate is replaced by market attractiveness. And instead of having 4 strategies which are there in business, BCG matrix, build, hold, harvest, divest, there they have 3 strategies: red, orange, and green. So red is stop, that is high harvest or divest. Orange is wait, that is select and earn. And green is go ahead, correct or no? Yeah, that is build the business, correct? We discussed that. Besides that, the other important matrix was the Igor of matrix: existing market, new market, existing product, new product, penetration, market development, product development, etc. And then we also had the ADL matrix, if you remember.
Yes.
Stages of industry
Yes,
development and the competitive position of the business. Then we had the TOES matrix, SWOT analysis. And the last part of the chapter was why do companies go global? So this is also an important concept which may come. What is globalization? What is a global company? I told you that ORS, they draw from they have common ownership, common resources, and
Strategy.
common strategy. Common strategy, right? Who said strategy?
Me, sir, Harshit.
Hey, Harshita, you're here.
I'm here, sir.
Oh God! Oh, I thought you have your exams going on or something.
Yes, sir. I don't have tomorrow, so I'm here.
Which one do you have tomorrow? Which one did you finish?
The day of Sanskrit, sir.
And now when do you have the next one? Tell me your exam schedule so that I'll come to know you, because in my college also will be there. Tell me what is the next exam? Quickly.
Sir, next exam for me is on Saturday. English.
Then tomorrow no exam. Tomorrow there's other exam for other people.
Tomorrow, I don't think it's there. I think an additional English is there. Yes, sir, it's there.
Okay, English. Then
after that we have business organization on first, I think.
First, you think?
Yes, sir.
That is first is a Saturday. What are you telling? Saturday, you're saying you have 2 exams on Saturday.
Sir. Sorry, first, no, sir. I'm sorry. So first we have generic English. On third, we have business organization. On fifth, we have digital fluency. I think after that, we have a 2-day gap, and then we have financial accounts. And then 9th, 10th, we have, I think, marketing management principles and application. And then the last exam is on 12th for us, and that is principles of marketing.
But in the middle, you'll have some holidays, I think. No, there's Mahavir Jayanti one of these days, right?
Yes, sir. We have 6th and 7th holiday, 9th holiday, and 11th holiday.
So now your exam will end on 12th, huh?
12th.
Oh, very nice. So that is the thing. Okay. Good, Ashita. So let's go to Anjana. Let's go to Anjana, you're there? Yes. So the global, why do companies go global? You know why they go global?
Yes.
Why? Chuma.
Pradyumna's blown up.
Huh? Pradyumna's blown up. What are you talking and all?
No, sir, I asked you to scroll up.
I thought you told him some bad word. I got so scared. Pradyumna dash up, you told him, so I got scared. And that I was thinking, how come Anjana tells after singing all those bhajans and all? But I was singing all. Tell him again,
No.
please. Anjana, I always knew you were naughty, but not so naughty. Okay. Anjana, that's chapter 3. Okay, so chapter 3 is your strategic management process. So again, in the strategic management process, if you remember, the most important part is the strategic intent. We are going a little quickly, but let's understand. What is the strategic? Have they mentioned strategic intent over there? Just read the definition, no, Anjana, quickly.
Yes, sir. Strategic intent is a commitment to carrying out an action or actions in the future.
Yeah,
It
so it's a
involves-
commitment. Yeah, read.
Yes, sir. It involves mental activities such as planning and forethought.
Okay, now guys, this reference material you'll read only towards the end. Okay, for the time being, the most important thing is you'll still have around 1 month, right? Unless
Yes,
you'll
sir.
have really finished strategic management, my advice to you is go through the question at the back of each of the chapters, because that is like your oh, that is like your reference material, because it puts the entire chapter in question and answer perspective, and also gives you MCQ. So don't read from the reference just like that and think you can expand in the exam and all that, right? And for all those students who means, I didn't tell you this, I was telling the current batch this time that the way in which you write the answer is through a technique called PEEP, PEEP, point, explanation, example, and point. Correct or no? Point, you make the point about, let's say they ask you about strategic intent, what is point? Then you explain what is strategy. Then you give an example of strategy and then make the point again in the conclusion. Right? Got it? Right. I had asked one of there was a person, he passed away. Unfortunately, his name was Rajeshwar sir. He used to set papers for strategic management and all that. Okay. And I had asked him, this was before the pandemic. I said that you are one of the valuers of strategic management. What is the core which you see in every answer? He said, sir, we see 3 things: the definition, the description, and the illustration. I said, wow. DDI. Remember this. You define or give the meaning. It doesn't mean that you have the exact definition. They see the description, how you have described it, and they see the illustration. Illustration is basically your examples, correct? Or no? How you are illustrating the entire. So I modified that and I told you in a point, and that is PEEP, point, example, explanation, example, point, right? So your point is the definition, your explanation is your description, your example is the illustration, and then you make the point again, because you have to round up the whole thing, right? Because you get the marks on OBC, I've already told you. So define, describe, and illustrate. Okay, keep this in your mind when you are writing the. I should be doing all this in. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
this is from the horse's mouth. The person who corrects your paper sometimes used to set the paper. Unfortunately, he used to do crash courses for strategic management and EIS for CAP students before the pandemic. Then he passed away. Okay. Next.
Yes, sir. Elements of strategic intent.
Okay. Now, this also, if you remember, I told you an easy way of remembering this. I told you DM, VM, GO. District magistrate, whatever magistrate, VM, you remember, and GO. I told you business definition is D, then business model is M, then V is vision, M is mission, G is goals, O is objective. So DM, VM, go. Correct or no? I told you how to remember the business definition. What business are we in? Business model, how are we going to make money? Vision is what the company wants to become. Mission is what are we now, which will help us reach our vision. Goals and objectives are the short term and the long term plans to reach our vision. Correct? So we discussed this in detail and we also discussed the difference between vision and. Have they given you anything like that, Anjana?
No, sir, they've just given one line about each.
They're given about business definition, business model, vision, mission, goals, and. Okay, what's the next heading?
Yes, sir. So there's also strategic decision making.
Studies?
Strategic decision making.
Strategic decision making. Again, I've discussed this with you. I told you decision making is the entire process of developing alternatives, choosing those alternatives, and implementing the best alternative. That is called as alternatives. And I told you there was the difference between decision making and decision taking. While the entire process of developing alternatives, choosing the best alternative, last step when you choose the best alternative, it's called as decision taking. But the entire process is called decision making. What it is called as? Decision making, right? So we discussed decision making, and I told you the success or failure of a firm depends on the strategic decisions which it. One wrong decision by a business can lead to failure. One correct business decision by a business can lead to success. In your previous examples also, I'd given you how Motorola took one wrong decision of launching a global phone, Iridium, and how it went down the drain and it had to be sold off to Google and then from Google to Motorola. Correct or no? One right decision by Patanjali to go from the rural areas to the urban areas made it from a 50 crore company to a 5,000 crore. It's not doing so well in the last 1 year. The stock has fallen by 30%, but that's a different story. That because they have some issues with governance and there is something they have to have at least 20, since it's a public limited company, at least 25% of the shares of Patanjali have to be listed, but only 20% of them have been listed. So all stocks have been barred, all Patanjali stock, because once it took over Ruchi Soya from a private limited, it became a public limited. So they have some issue which they are going to sort out, but leave that. But for the time being, any decision taken can make the business go from a very ordinary business to an extraordinary business, or from an extraordinary business, it may capitulate into a very ordinary business. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So next here they have given essentials of strategic vision. And then points must be considered while writing a mission statement.
Yeah.
Goals and objectives, they've given a bit more in detail.
They've given a bit more about it, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you all get time to study these theory subjects, all of you all who are writing it this semester, this time in May? How is it going with you, all of you all? Bhumika, whatever you'll be. You'll do only practical. How do you all divide your time? You all are not writing your BCom exams, right?
No,
Or are you all writing?
No, sir.
not writing.
Anjana, but you're in AIMS, no?
Yes, sir, but we didn't write.
I thought the college is named after you or something. They told Anjana Institute of Management or something like that.
No.
It's not named after you. What does that A stand for? Apurva. Who's that? Your cousin brother, cousin sister?
I don't have anyone, cousin or otherwise named Apurva.
Who's Apurva? There's some person that
the college management may know.
The principal's daughter. Oh,
God. No idea, sir.
No idea. Better find out. Go on. That is next. Harshita will find out. Not Harshita. Who's that? Ritik will find out. It's okay. Anyway,
that's
so
my job, sir.
Okay, so how do you all study? Tell me for this theory subjects. What are you all doing for theory subjects? What are you all doing for the practical subjects? How do you all split your time and all? Morning, you all sit and start with?
Sir, actually, Sir has given us the study plan. So
Okay. You'll
there
just
are
follow
revisions
that.
and then, yeah. So
So,
after around a week, we'll have a mock test. So during that week, we study for the subject for which there's the test.
okay. But for the time being, you'll just have morning, you'll mix up all the subjects.
No, sir, we are going one paper at a time.
Okay. So, but suppose you do one paper now and then one paper after 3, 4 weeks. Then the paper in the beginning, won't you'll forget it?
Yes, sir. So
We
we
have to
have to
revise
revise
and
it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so that is the thing. Let's go to the next one. We just
Yes,
have
sir.
to break the
Strategic
monotony.
management model.
Okay, so this strategic management model is an ideal, the ideal steps which have to be taken to implement the strategic management, to get the strategic management. So just read the steps, Anjana.
Yes, sir. So first is develop vision, mission, and objectives. Then it is in between there's environmental analysis and organization appraisal. And then generate, analyze, and select strategies.
Very
Then
good.
implement strategies, and then strategic evaluation and control.
Brilliant. So these are the steps in the strategic management model. And I told you, as far as possible, write the diagrams in your exams, right? The more diagrams you write, the more the chances of the person reading your paper will become much higher. Okay, let's move out from this chapter. That's all right. Anything else in this chapter?
Yes, the stages in strategic management.
Yeah, this is basically the expansion of the strategic management
Model.
right or no?
Yes. Yes, and next is chapter 4, corporate level strategies.
Okay, now the next 3 chapters are the corporate level strategy, the business level strategy, and the functional level strategy. So remember when we did the 3 strategic levels? So 4, 5, and 6 will comprise of these 3, okay? And then you'll go to the 7th chapter, which is your organization and leadership, and finally implementation. So let's go to chapter 4, which is
Corporate level strategy.
Mm.
Okay, so first they have given the basis of classification and the types.
So you remember we did this. We what are corporate level strategies also called grand or directional strategies. Remember, and we discussed there were 4 main strategies: stability strategies, expansion strategy, retrenchment strategy, and combination. What is stability? Who wants to tell? I'm speaking so much, my mouth has become dry. Who wants to tell what is stability? Who are the people who are sleeping? Anjana, see the names from the beginning, all the P's. P, just read the name.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Anaga was first, and then it's Bhumika.
Bhumika answered. We spoke to her. Then after Bhumika?
Harshavardhan.
Harshvardhan, what are the stability strategy? You're also writing now, Harshvardhan, in May itself.
Yes, sir.
You're not writing. But you had Christ University and all exams. Or what were you did? Your exams are over or what?
Sir, I mean names.
Your names only. Okay. So you're also not writing now. Huh?
No, sir.
You'll write in November. Oh,
Third
no,
semester.
no. Oh, that third semester. Okay, when you have third sem, you'll write both. Correct. I got it. Okay. Now tell me, Arshadhan, what is the stability expansion? Just tell me one line. What is the stability strategy?
Sir, it focuses on
Your voice is breaking. Is it for me or for everybody?
Everybody's.
Harshadhan, you'll have to speak it. Tell it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Sir, yes, sir. Stability strategy focuses on incremental growth
Very good.
it deals with the same business which is in.
Yeah, so they just want to maintain the status quo. It's generally done by businesses who are in the maturity stage, right? Products in the maturity stage, companies which have reached a height like Microsoft, Bata, etc., right? So it's incremental growth. They want to grow, but at a reasonable place. They don't want to expand into new businesses. They don't want to go into new geographical territories. They want to safeguard their market share. Very good. Now, expansion strategy, if you remember, we did different types of expansion. Have they given a chart or something, Anjana, for expansion?
No, sir, they have explained it like in a paragraph. And yeah, there is.
Is there a chart? They've given a
Yes,
chart.
there is. Yes, sir.
Just
there-
read that intensification, diversification, like that they give, no?
Yes, sir.
read.
Diversification, merger and acquisition, strategic alliances.
And
And
then?
then under diversification, there's intensification and diversification.
Under?
Yes, sir. Under diversification, they've given intensification and diversification.
Again,
Yes, sir. And under
there's
that,
something wrong, no, with this? Don't you all think? Under diversification, again intensification and diversification?
yes, sir. Do you want me to read what's under that?
You read intensification, we did, no, market development, product
Yes.
development, market penetration, that Igor answer of matrix. Then?
Yes, sir. Under diversification, it's vertically integrated, horizontally
Horizontally.
integrated,
Hmm.
concentric, and conglomerate.
Conglomerate. So you'll remember all this. And this can come as a case study also. They'll ask you, Amul is manufacturing cheese and had decided to get into manufacturing of milk sweets. Is this a forward integration, backward integration, horizontal integration? None of the above. What is it?
None of the above.
Very good. You'll get none of the marks. You'll get. This is concentric, right? Horizontal or concentric. I didn't say concentric, but remember when you're making something with the core is the same, you're making milk sweets, right? You're not going up the value chain or down the value chain, not making butter cheese, but you're going into something with the same core, milk sweets. So it is concentric. Yeah, what you told is right. Correct, correct. None of the above. I didn't mention concentric. So this is nothing but concentric.
Diversification.
Diversification.
So that is the way in which they'll ask questions. We will just see. If I finish early, we'll go through some questions which are there MCQs. I'm going to send you a document with MCQs and case studies. Chinmay. Chinmay, you slept off, huh?
No, sir.
Chinmay, please wash your face and come. No.
Sir, I'm all right, sir.
Yeah,
I'm
please.
having network issues. I'm in a different
You are
place.
having
I'm in my granny's house, sir.
in Bangalore, huh?
No, sir. In Bangalore only, but in granny's place.
Only you're there or your father, mother, everybody is there?
Oh, only me, sir.
Oh, full free you are today.
No, sir. If you ask for my schedule, it is very
What?
tight.
Huh?
It's very tight.
Why?
Pant will tear because of the schedule today.
What is that?
There was a lot of things going on today, sir. Basically.
Oh, I thought that a free bird in your granny's house, they don't talk. Grandparents don't trouble you so much, no? Like your parents.
Except for food, nothing else, sir.
Huh?
Except
Yeah.
for food, nothing else.
Oh, there in your parents' house, it's food for thought. They'll keep troubling food. All parents are like that. My son will be sitting simply, I'll irritate him. So all parents have this knack of irritation. Knack of what, Anjana? So let's come back. So this was the diagram. Please go through this expansion strategies. There were two more strategies. One is retrenchment strategies and one is combination strategies. Liquidation, retrenchment strategies have again three more. What are the three things? Liquidation, turnaround, and anybody remembers? What were the
Divestment.
three? Yes, wonderful. See, I think so. Only Harshvardhan I studied. All of you all are like acting like, see, these are the three types of retrenchment strategies. And the last strategy is combination strategy, which combines any of the above two. So for one business, you might have a stability strategy, and for one, you'll have an expansion strategy. For one, expansion and one retrenchment. For one, stability and retrenchment. Anything where there is a combination of the other two, it is called as a
Combination
combination
strategy.
strategy. So this was the entire chapter. The most important thing is the expansion strategies and the retrenchment turnaround. When does a company need a turnaround? When should a company go get liquidated? Correct or no?
Yes.
All this should be discussed. Okay, this was chapter number 4. I'll just go drink water and come, and I'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll start off the remaining 4. Okay, just hold.
Are you guys able to complete like all the chapters for the mock test?
It was not applicable to me, so I'm not responding.
In
Because I
general,
was
yes, but
preparing for the
EISSM, I
week.
doubt I'll be able to complete.
Same.
Like for
Yeah,
me,
because
all
today,
the
whole day, I was
subjects,
able to
but one
study.
chapter is
Okay, in accounts, I had left one chapter, branch, but yeah, that was a deliberate thing. It was not that I didn't have time to study; it was I didn't want to study that. But others, I'm able to complete.
for me, like the chapters which I studied first, I spent too much time, and then in the end, I don't have time to finish. And then that also, I don't know what I forgot by now.
How many hours are you putting if you have a count?
I haven't counted, but I'm putting 10 plus, like average.
Ooh.
You?
No, I don't keep a count.
18 hours.
18 hours of sleep, yes. The study, I'm not sure.
I didn't hear that. Repeat.
No, it was Harshvardhan's point.
Right.
It's okay, however, it's recording.
Okay. Well, what were you saying, Pradyumna?
I was saying that
18 hours
it's
of
difficult to
what?
carve.
Chinmay, let them talk.
Sorry,
Continue, Pradyumna.
I have a network issue lagging.
Okay. Tell.
Yeah, that's why you're hearing incorrect things.
He cracked a small joke.
Okay, let's come back. Fifth question, fifth chapter. You want to crack a joke? Huh? What is the joke?
Nothing, sir.
Whenever you crack a joke, you should never tell you're cracking a joke. I had tried this. I had gone, I go for the Toastmasters, no? So when I was early in my Toastmasters, several years back. So I told, now I'm going to tell you all a joke. So one person from the audience got up and he said, you tell whatever you have to tell, we'll decide whether it's a joke or not. After that, I decided never to.
Inform that it's a joke.
How do you know it's a joke? Only when they laugh, right?
Yes, sir.
If they don't laugh, it's a poke. In Facebook, you had to add, no? First, what are those pokes and something used to have, no? Early days of
No
Facebook.
idea, sir.
How do you tell something you likes?
Likes.
The earlier versions of Facebook, they not only had likes, they had pokes. If you didn't like something, no, there'll be a needle you poke. You knew, Harshita? Okay, let's start with chapter 5. Anjana?
Yes, sir. Business level strategy. So first is Porter's 5 forces model.
So all of you all know this, right? In the business level strategy, the 5-force model, what does it have? It has 5 elements. A number of sellers in the market, that's a rivalry. The second is, I told you, 2 threats, threat of new entrants, threat of substitutes, and 2 bargaining power of buyer and bargaining power of
supplier.
Now, how does this talk about competitive pressures? What do you mean by competitive pressure? So if the number of sellers increase, competitive pressure increases. The industry attractiveness comes down. Bargaining power of buyers increases. Again, what will happen? The competitive pressure will become more. Bargaining power of suppliers also, competitive pressure becomes high. Threat of new entrants is more. So all these 5 are directly proportional. the more of all these five will lead to a higher competitive pressure, making the industry unattractive, making the industry what?
Active.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We had discussed this. We had done so many examples for this. And besides this, Michael Porter not only gave the 5-force model, I told you he also gave 3 business level strategies. One is called cost leadership, one is called differentiation, and one is called niche.
Focus.
Focus. What are the niche? I'm so sorry. Focus strategy, right? And then I told you there was another strategy which was developed combining Michael Porter's cost leadership and differentiation, which was called best cost provider. What it was called? Best cost
Provider.
Again, I think they've given a diagram. Focus, and have they given a diagram there, Anjana?
Yes, sir. Is it the 4x4 one?
Just read. What is it?
Yes, sir. So the rows are broad target and narrow target,
That one.
and the columns are low cost products or services and differentiated products or services.
Yeah. So both the broad ones are cost leadership and differentiation. In the focus strategy, whenever the narrow market, you're focusing on one segment of the market, like Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce is a focus differentiator. It focuses on the high end of the market and it differentiates its cars so much that it becomes very, very expensive to buy. Correct?
Yes.
I told you can also have a focused cost leadership where you concentrate on one segment of the market and you become a cost leader. What you become a cost
Leader.
in that particular market. So let's say you concentrate on sensitive tooth. Correct? And in sensitive tooth, you have the lowest priced sensitive toothpaste. Correct? And I won't leave sensitive tooth. We'll take whitening. Okay, it doesn't matter. Sensitive. So Colgate sensitive is the cheapest one in the
Market.
So you are a focused cost leader. What you're a focused? While Sensodyne, Sensodyne, all the other ones are expensive. Colgate sensitive is the cheapest. Colgate has actually followed this focused cost leadership in most of the niche segments. Even for white tooth, they have Colgate whitening, which is 35% cheaper than all the other whitening
toothpaste.
Anybody uses a whitening toothpaste? We want to give that broad smile to somebody and teeth are like, so that is nothing wrong. But I'm not very sure if those whitening toothpaste work immediately. I think so. They work over a period of 3 to 6 months or something like that.
More like 3 to 6 years, sir.
Years, huh?
Sir, I've been using it for past 1 year, thinking now it will show results. Now it will show results.
Which one you're using? Colgate whitening, huh?
Yes, sir.
But there is one more I heard of one toothpaste in the market, whitening one, where they give you shades. They take the shade of your tooth and they say how much of the shade changes. I don't know which one is that. It's a little expensive as compared to the normal one, but they guarantee you the shade changes in a period of your teeth will be of a certain shade, right? So it will become a whiter shade.
So, but aren't teeth naturally supposed to be slightly yellow? They are not completely white and milky white.
Yeah, not completely white. That's the whole game plan, no? So if everybody has it slightly yellow, but if you had it sparkling white, what a difference when you smile and all girls will fall on you. Remember there was a deodorant, Axe deodorant.
Yes.
There should be an ad that man will put it and all those girls will like Like puppies, they'll come behind him and all that, opening their mouth. What was it? Yeah, what was that ad?
Axe only, sir. It's Axe.
Axe, no?
Only Axe perfume makers do such ads. Others are a bit better.
And that same ad was there for one underwear also, I think. So macho. That man will wear that underwear and all these girls will be around him and all. I didn't understand the concept, but it was there. Lux Macho, what was it? Doesn't matter. Your teeth are naturally white. Ritvik, so just smile at somebody. If you want to make it naturally brown, you smoke.
No, sir, I won't.
Yeah. Eat gutka. Gutka.
No, sir.
Then as you smile, all the girls will run off. Brown teeth like that. The hounds of
I will
Baskerville.
never do that, sir.
The hounds of Baskerville. The hounds of Okay. Let's go to the next one. So that was the entire basis of the chapter was cost leadership, differentiation, focus. And then anything else is there in the chapter, Anjana?
No, sir, they've just explained everything in detail, like advantage.
They have explained everything. That you're very good at. Yeah, means all of you all are good at understanding. We are just going through it in brief, right? 2 hours, 8 chapters basically means 120 divided by around 15 minutes per chapter. I'll try and finish it quicker and we'll see if we can go through some MCQs and case studies. Yeah. Next one.
It's a marketing strategy.
Marketing.
I mean,
the functional
strategies in that market.
So you remember we did a lot of strategic management technique. Now this chapter is also important. So I told you the 3 chapters which are the biggest chapters are 2, 6 and 8. But if you see the allocation of marks, it's they somehow allocate everything almost equally. I don't know how they managed to do that. So in a 40 means your paper is actually out of 40, 45, 60 marks. So they generally give 7 to 10 marks for each chapter. Why did I say 60, not 50? Because you have one choice. Remember, you had 4 questions out of which you had to answer any 3, 10 marks each. So 40 plus the 1 5 mark, which is compulsory, 45 plus the 15 marks, which are MCQs. Out of 60 marks, you have to answer any out of that, you have to answer 50 marks, right? So the 60 marks, when last time I did a lot of calling up and finding out how do they allocate the marks. They say that it's almost equal among all the 7 to 8 marks among all the chapters, but I don't think so. I think so. In some papers, they mostly have 7 and some they have 9 or 10 marks, especially the 2nd, 6th and 8th chapter, because those are much bigger than the other chapters. Okay. So this chapter, the first one is marketing strategy. So you know what is a marketing strategy, what is marketing. You are doing it in your BCom. And if here the important part is the strategic management techniques, the marketing techniques. What are the marketing techniques? Enlightened marketing, differential marketing. What else are there? Demarketing, place marketing, person marketing. If you remember, we had done all those. So now I just want to tell you one more thing, okay? Remember I told you the last question, I told you most of the questions which you have options with 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. The last question I told you is 8 and 2 marks. In that 8 and 2 mark question, generally that 8 marks is write short notes on the following. What? Write short notes on the
Following.
So they'll give you 4 things. Remarketing, correct or no? They might give you key success factor. They might give you strategic, what is that? Business process re-engineering, something like that, right? So the last question, if you are good at writing those short notes, see if you know all the concepts, and that will be from all the chapters, correct or no? So that's why this topic is important, because it might come. Write short notes on any of the 4 of the following. They might give you 5 or something like that, right or no? Correct. So if you all are good at that, choose that topic, correct? But if you all are not good, you choose the remaining 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So most questions in the papers, the last question is for 8 and 2, where they ask you to write short notes. So please go through this. Other than marketing strategy, you had the financing strategies, right? Anjana?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
As
Financial strategy, that is the valuation of the business. We discussed the different ways of valuing the business, remember?
Yes, sir.
I told
Yes.
you to write a chart about it, and then we discussed about the 3 decisions taken by a marketing finance manager: investment, financing, dividend. We discussed lots of things. Finance strategies, they come, but not so often, because uh, you have a separate sub chapter on. You'll have a separate subject on financial
Management.
management, but even then it comes. They generally keep rotating one of these strategies: finance, marketing, production strategies. Then you have supply chain management, logistic strategies, R&D strategies. In all these, you have to understand the concept clearly with the illustration, correct or no? Okay, so get through all these strategies: production, marketing, finance, logistics, difference between logistics and supply chain management, difference between production and operations, right? The different types of R&D strategies. They have a grid and all that, right? Where I made you draw a grid on the different types of R&D strategy, but a very, very, very important chapter, just like the second chapter, because it covers a lot of ground in this. So these are one of the longest chapter, right? So chapter 6 is that. Chapter 7. Is there anything else you want to go through here, Anjana? Just see anything which you.
No, sir. They've explained everything in detail.
But how did they say then there is one? She told me it's some referencer or something.
Yes, sir.
In
Yes,
reference
sir.
only, they've explained so much in detail.
Yes,
How
sir.
many
So,
pages is
like,
the referencer?
flow charts and all they've explained.
And flow chart. So go through this. Means after you'll have finished studying the main thing, you can go through the
Referencer.
referencer, right? But don't go through it at the beginning itself. That's not a great idea. Right?
Yes. Yes, the next is chapter 7, organization and strategic leadership.
No, this is the one where you all did a lot of presentations, if you remember. I told you there were different organizational structures. The important part over here is, does strategy follow structure or does structure follow strategy? Remember we did this. That guy was there, Chandler, and we did a diagram of his. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I told you that always strategy comes before structure. What strategy comes before?
Structure.
Structure here means the relationship between the various components within the organization. So all those, the hierarchy, basically the flow of authority and responsibility within the organization is called as structure. So they might ask you a question for write short notes on the following, or in that my MCQs: strategy follows structure or structure follows strategy. You'll have to fill in the blanks, correct or no? Right? So you'll have to be careful and learn that they've given you a diagram, no, for the Chandler. Just see if they've given a diagram over there, Anjana.
Yes, sir, they have.
Yeah. So these diagrams, whatever diagrams they've given you, learn these diagrams. This will help you a lot in your exam, right? How many days gaps you'll have between each exam in this CA?
One.
One.
Yes.
Two. This is like torture, right?
Maybe 1.5, I guess. The day we write the exams.
Yeah,
also.
but it's not worth it, no? Means in 1.5 days where they should have it like the CBSE exams, no? One after 1 week, after 2 days, 5 days.
Sir, by
The
the
exam-
time we
this is
write
fine,
the
sir.
exam, we'll
Really.
be frustrated, sir.
No, but at least you'll remember, no, how, see, the day you come back, you'll be so tired, you don't even feel like studying. Your mind will be so occupied with the previous subject. The next day you get up and on only one day you have to study this, right? So
Sir, it's
very,
better than the schedules of CBSE exams.
Yes, sir, it gets over fast.
gets over fast.
It will be like it's forever.
Yeah, but what you have to do is you'll have to prepare in advance for these type of subjects. So last minute it
Yes.
doesn't work. These type of exams don't work in the last minute. But those
It's like
exams,
a quick death or a slow and painful death.
okay, yeah. That's why the government of India has recommended, no, that now hanging will be stopped.
Will
They
be
have,
stopped?
in the sense that they have asked the Ministry of Home Affairs to submit within 3 months a quicker way of killing,
Okay. Sir.
means executing, no? Hanging is a very painful death, right? Your some people whose windpipe doesn't crush immediately can hang for half an hour, turn blue, and then
Oh my God.
so
Yes.
what used to happen in the earlier days, they used to say hang for uh, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, because within 2 or 3 minutes most people used to die. Then there was one cunning bugger called some Hanuman Singh or something. He had, when he was caught red-handed killing or something, he developed some technique of holding his breath and flexing his neck muscle so that the hang. So he was hanged for flexing his neck muscle so that the hang. So he was hanged for 3 to 4 minutes, but he didn't die. So they said hang till. That's why nowadays the pronounce is hang till death. Or first it used to be hang for 4 minutes or something like that, right? And this fellow got scot-free, like then they had to hang till death. So sometimes it's a very, very painful. I think so in the US they use an electric chair.
Yes, sir.
The electric shock goes through your body, and within I think so 5 to 10 seconds you.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how they execute in other countries, but the noose and the gallows have been stopped. The government has stopped the sale of gallows in most countries. It's considered a painful death. So gallows have been banned in most countries now. I don't know India. I don't know how they're still using it, but in most countries, you can't sell the gallows. You can't. Okay. Now coming to the next point. So the seventh chapter is organization. So we discussed the structure and we discussed that there were different organizational structure, the simple organizational structure. And I told it's all evolutionary. Then came the functional organizational structure. Then came the divisional organizational structure. Then the multi-divisional organizational structure. Then the SBU structure. And then we had, these were up to a certain point. So when an organization grows, it grows from simple to functional to divisional to multi-divisional to stress BU. And then we told there are other organizational structures which are very complex. One is the matrix organizational structure, one is the hourglass organizational structure, and one is the network organizational structure. So, now, somewhere or the other from this chapter, most of the times the question comes, explain the advantages of one type of organizational structure. But lately, I've also seen that they're not asking the organizational structure, they're asking the leadership part of the chapter, transformational leadership, transactional leadership, right? But this is very, very important. Okay, so these 7 structures, especially the matrix and all, please go through that because that's a little complicated. SBU, matrix. The other ones are pretty easy to understand. You can use, and just look at the diagrams. If you're not comfortable with doing this part of the chapter, then leave it in choice when you get those 4 questions. But my advice is go through it. Don't leave out anything. Because the moment you leave, right, you're leaving it for chance. You never know, it may come for a 2 mark also like that, right? Okay. So please go through this. And matrix, they've described the evolution of the matrix organizational structure, everything they've given you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next.
Yes, so they're given about strategy, implementation, and control.
Okay, this is the last chapter, right? Is there anything else which they mentioned in this organizational structure about leadership or anything? Nothing, right?
Yes, sir, they've given a small part about leadership, strategy, supportive culture, and
That culture, I forgot. So you all know what are the culture, right? The value, beliefs, attitudes which are shared by the organization and passed on from one generation of people to the other is called as culture. So they'll give you a talk on, they will ask you a question on how to build up a strategy, supportive culture. Also, we did in this chapter something called as the change model. If you remember that Kurt Levin, unfreezing, changing, refreezing, remember?
Yes, sir.
So please go
Yes,
through
sir.
that also, because I've seen that also come quite often. The Kurt Levin change model. That's why I was a little shocked that how does this chapter end? Organizational culture, go through that. Developing a culture, the steps in building a culture, supportive organization. And then the another question which is quite common is culture an ally or an obstacle to strategy? Mhm. Right?
yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So you'll have to write, if it is supports the organizational, it is a ally. If it doesn't support, it is an
Obstacle.
obstacle to the organization.
Organization.
Yeah. Yeah. And we discussed the various aspects of that, and that's a change model. So please go through that. The last topic in this strategic management is strategic implementation and control. Read the headings.
yes, sir. So they have given like a chart showing on the parts of strategy, implementation, and control.
Yeah. So you'll have different types of control, right? Just see the different.
Yes, sir. So it's like strategic change, strategic control, strategy audit, all that.
Yeah.
Business process reengineering, benchmarking, interrelationship between strategy formulation and
Yeah.
implementation.
So in this chapter, one question is what's the difference between strategic formulation and implementation? Another question which is important is the steps in business process reengineering. I told you radically changing the processes of the enterprise. And also benchmarking, setting your standards as high as the best in the industry and trying to emulate them. Right? Okay. I'm not telling imitate them, emulate them. Okay. So there's a small difference. Imitation is copying them same to same. But emulation is you get inspired from them and try and bring out something new in your processes which will match them. What which will match. So that is benchmarking. In that, then we also did that strategic audit, right? There is some, what was that? Richard, some fellow was there. I forgot his name. What is that guy's name? For strategic audit, there are some uh, areas to be covered in strategic audit. What were they? Just see, I
Yes,
forget
sir.
that. Richard, what is his name? Chi. Just check it up.
Sir Richard Roomel.
Roomler, yeah, chi. Richard Roomler. What were the things he gave? He gave some 4 things, no, which is consistency.
Consonants,
Yeah, consonants.
feasibility, and advantage.
Yeah, and unless these 4 aspects, you when you're doing a strategic audit, you have to see whether it's consistent, whether it's consonant, whether it gives you an advantage, and the other one, right? So that is also there. I forgot about this, but this is important. It's not there in the reference material, Anjana.
It's there, sir.
Richard Roomler.
It's there, sir.
It's there.
Yeah. And then anything else in this chapter, strategic control and all? No, formulation, implementation. So benchmarking, BPR. So that's the whole strategic management process. What is this called? R&R? RRR? What is this? Refresh? To cherish RTC. R2C.
R2C.
So I hope you all understood R2C. R2C. Now we'll see if we can see any paper or something, any this thing they've given, any model paper or
We have
something.
a MCQ booklet, sir.
Yeah, they sent it to you, right? But there are too many MCQs in that, right? And
Yes, sir. But
in
in the
the
question paper,
question paper,
the MCQ that we get in the actual exams, we can't look at that. They take it back.
they take it back. So this is the only available thingy.
Yeah,
And
so
the
we
other
only have the
papers and the
70 mark
question,
question.
the 70 mark questions, can you just take out one paper for the 35 marks? We'll see that first and then we'll see the.
Sure, sir.
So we
Take it
can
up.
check the MTP, like the latest.
Yeah, that only I was telling you. You can check that. What is it called?
Mock test paper.
MTC. Correct or no?
Yes,
Check
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
MTC. In BCom, we have a subject called MTC in fourth semester or fifth semester. You know what is MTC? Methods and techniques of costing. So I got a shock when you said MTC. You'll have cost accounting, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there's a subject in BCom called MTC, Methods and Techniques of Costing. Method and where you learn all these methods. Which are the ones? Joint product, byproduct, contract costing, process costing. Those are the other types of techniques of costing. I forgot. Job costing, batch costing. What is that costing called for transportation and all that, right?
Service cost.
Service cost.
Service costing.
Service costing. Service. Yeah, MTC. Which one are you taking out, Pradyumna? MTC or?
May 23 mock test papers. 1 second.
May 23, this is a mock test paper, including MCQs, huh?
Yes, sir.
Come on, now who's going to tell this? They give the answers also?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So you don't have any headache now. Come on. If you get it right, you get it right. Okay, we'll start. Everybody has to answer the MCQs. 15 people, 15 questions. We'll start with the MCQs. All will go in order, all the P's. We'll start from the last P to the first P.
Just a second, sir. I'm downloading.
Download the MTC 2023.
Yes, sir.
But why is it MTC? It should be MTP, no?
MTP, sir.
It's MTP, sir.
MTP, yeah.
Done, sir.
Yes, Anjana, you can start read. Just see leave out the EIS part. You all finish the EIS refresh to cherish R2C.
Yes, sir. Yesterday.
So what did you do?
Should I show the answers or I'll just only the questions?
Show the question, then we'll ask them, and then you show the answer like that KBC.
Okay, sir.
Well, this is MTP, whatever. STC. Okay. Question 1. You're doing the MCQs, right? How they give
Yes,
the
sir.
answer under that itself? Huh?
No, sir. There's a different paper.
So don't show
Like,
that
there's a
paper.
different document.
That document, you open it and don't show it. You see the answer and then you tell them whether it's right or not, right? For the theory questions, we
Yes,
can
sir.
see the answer directly. That's not an issue. So read out the first one, Anjana.
So the first.
It's a case study.
Yes.
For what? 5 marks, huh?
Yes, sir.
This is
No,
empty.
it's for 10
10
marks.
marks.
Yeah, they've changed the format, huh? Oh, now you're scaring me now. What's the format? Read it. This is the 70
5
marks, the
questions
35
of
marks.
2
Huh?
marks each.
You're seeing you're seeing the strategic management part.
It's same for that also.
Just check it up now, Anjana. I thought 5 marks is compulsory and
Sir,
3
it
10
was
marks.
EIS.
I'm talking about the MCQs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Even for strategic management also, it's case studies.
How many marks? I think so. The first question, which is compulsory, is 5 marks, and then you have 10 marks.
Yes,
Just
sir,
check.
it's 5 marks.
It's 5 marks. It's not 10.
Yes, sir,
Yes,
that
sir.
was
I
EIS.
was.
Huh? That was EIS. Whatever you start reading, heroine,
Yes,
we
sir.
are running out of time.
Yes,
Now, which
sir.
one are you reading? The MCQs or the other ones?
Sir, MCQ.
Okay. Quickly.
Yes, sir. First one, what is the strategic tool adopted by Cheetah Limited as an immediate corrective measure?
Where is the Sita? Oh, they gave the case study and then they've given the MCQs for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have to read that case study. How
It's
stupid.
very big, sir.
It's very big, huh? Oh, then you'll read through this on your
So
own.
we'll answer the standalone questions.
Yeah. Just see the standalone questions. How many marks are there for the case study for these MCQs?
5 marks question.
4-5 marks
The
question.
case
Oh,
studies for 5 marks.
the case studies for 5 marks for MCQ itself. Okay.
Yes.
And then
sir.
the remaining 10 questions are normal. Huh?
Normal, sir.
Yeah, read the normal ones.
Yes, sir. Tom, a sneaker.
Huh? What?
A sneaker brand.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking, Anjana.
Yes, sir. A sneaker brand wanted to understand their competitive landscape and thus were looking for the weakest competitors to buy them and thereby decrease competition. Which of the following will be most?
Okay, if you want, we'll skip this. If Anjana, you're feeling like it's very funny or something, we'll skip it off. You
No,
do the
sir,
next question. We'll do the next question. You're
No.
really finding it really. They have drawn some sneaker there, they've drawn some underwear there or something like that. You're feeling very funny about it.
No, sir, I'll read.
Your wish.
I'll read it, sir.
Yeah. What
I'll
happened?
read it,
What has prompted you to get so happy?
No, sir, the name was funny.
Whose name was funny? Pradyumna's.
No, it was Tom, I guess.
Oh, you got some wild ideas. Okay, I can understand.
No, sir.
Okay, leave it.
It's
You
Tom,
please.
Tom, as in one
Huh?
word.
Huh?
It's Tom. It's one word, sir. Tom, Tom.
Tom.
Yes.
I can understand. Chum. Okay. Read now. Tom
Yes.
sneakers.
Yes, sir. A sneaker brand wanted to understand their competitive landscape and thus were looking for the weakest competitors to buy them and thereby decrease competition. Which of the following will be most helpful for them to begin with their plans?
A.
Mergers and acquisition planning. B. BCG growth matrix. C. Strategic group mapping. D. GE stoplight matrix.
Which one do you think? Strategic group
mapping.
Remember, you compete on the basis of some criteria. You'll find out which groups are there. Then you will go for merger and acquisition planning, right? So it will be strategic group
mapping.
Okay, go to the next question.
Yes, sir. After an earnest attempt to bring in a strategic change in your organization, you, the operational head of XYZ Limited, succeeded, but still your organization couldn't achieve the desired competitive position in the market. Out of the following, what could be the reason? A. Strategy formulation. B. Strategy model. C. Strategy implementation. D. Strategy decision.
Strategic implementation, right? You made your product. You did not implement it. That's why it did not reach the right.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Understood. It's quite easy only. Next one.
Next one is best cost provider strategies. A. Seek to attract buyers on the basis of charging low price for low quality. B. Aim at giving customers less value for more money. C. Seek to attract buyers on the basis of charging high price for high quality. D. Aim to give customers low cost and better quality.
Low cost and better
quality.
That's why it's called best cost provider, right? You're giving the best quality at a low
cost.
Yeah. Next one. Fourth one. This was D.
Yes, sir. Walmart, a global giant, sells fast-moving consumer goods at even less than wholesale prices to retail customers. This is a strategy of A, market penetration, B, cost differentiation, C, cost leadership, D, market development.
It is cost
leadership.
What's the first one? Cost differentiation.
Yes, so cost differentiation, then cost leadership.
I think it's cost leadership. Just check it up, no, Pradyumna?
It's
Leadership.
cost leadership.
Cost leadership. Okay, what is right? So this is cost leadership. I was wondering where are this cost differentiation? I hadn't heard it anywhere. That's why I got a little confused. Okay, this is cost leadership. Next one.
Yes, sir. Technique to cope up with sudden change in government, natural calamities, terrorist attacks, industrial disasters, etc. is called A, special alert control, B, strategic surveillance, C, premise control, D, implementation control.
Special alert control, right? Terrorist attacks and all. When there is a special problem, which happens. Premise control is the assumption on which the plan is made. Surveillance is checking out if there's any change in the trends or something. That is called as strategic surveillance, right? So this was special alert control.
Yes, sir. Merger of two organizations that are operating in the same industry but at different stages of production and distribution system are called A, horizontal merger, B, vertical merger, C, co-generic merger, D, conglomerate merger.
It is a vertical merger, right? Because different levels of production, no? So one is making milk, one is making cheese, and you acquire them, and then it becomes a vertical
merger.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Functional level managers are concerned with A, strategies that are responsible for the operations of specific business, B, strategies that span multiple businesses, C, strategies that are specific to a particular country, D, strategies that encourage a favorable attitude towards change.
A, what is it?
Specific business.
Correct?
Yes.
Next.
Yes, sir. After that, it's descriptive.
Now read the descriptive part.
Yes, sir. Jeff Incorporated, a leading USA-based mobile company, decides to make India a hub for the company's Android mobile, having largest storage memory to be manufactured in collaboration with the Desi Group, a leading Indian mobile manufacturer. The production is to be exported to the company's home market as well as to other European countries. What is this growth strategy called? Point out the most important advantages both the companies expect from such strategy or collaboration.
Okay, what is this growth strategy called? Pradyumna, read out the answer, no? So that they can get an idea of what to write.
Yes, sir. A strategic alliance is a relationship between two or more businesses that enables each to achieve certain strategic objectives, which neither would have been able to achieve on its own. Strategic alliances are often formed in the global marketplace between businesses that are based in different regions of the world. Advantages of strategic alliance. Strategic alliance usually is only formed if they provide an advantage to
So
all the parties
basically,
in the
they have
alliance.
just copied and pasted what's there from the textbook.
Yes,
I thought
sir.
they'll write specifically. So you will write that, you write facts of the case, and then you write this type of strategy is called strategic alliance, and then you give the, don't start off just like that, right? Since you give an explanation, I don't think so they've written it properly. You should write that since this company is coming and making an alliance in the own country, it is a strategic alliance, it's an inter-country strategic alliance, and then you write that these are the advantages which will happen. Okay, so you write the facts of the case, two companies, you write the analysis, this is a strategic analysis, and then you give the advantages and whatever they've asked. Okay, so write it in that form, don't write it in the form just copy paste what they've done, right? Got
Yes,
it?
sir.
Okay, go to the next question.
Yes, sir. 3A, Sridhar, who is running a medium-sized cloth manufacturing business in Panipat, wishes to understand the driving forces that trigger change. He has sought advice from you and wishes to know the common driving forces.
Okay, now remember which industry is he in? Mr. D.H. Sridhar, which is a
Cloth manufacturing.
Not manufacturing.
So remember, driving forces are different for different industries, right? So let you read the answer.
Yes.
This is in the
In
this is
this-
the optional one. The first one was compulsory, yeah. That first one.
Yes, sir.
That was 5 marks compulsory, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now this question is how many marks?
So this was a PA sub question. I
This
think
is for 10 marks.
5.
This will be 5. They won't give you more.
Yes, sir.
I told
There
you,
are
no,
two
they'll have
sub-questions in this.
2 sub questions, no, 5, and then last question will be generally 8-2. I told you, right? Okay,
Sir,
anyway,
it's 5 only.
all are 5. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So good only. Okay, next one. Read the answer, Pradyumna.
Yes, sir. Industry and competitive conditions of organization change as environmental forces are in motion. The most dominant forces are called driving forces because these have the biggest influence on what kinds of changes will take place in the industry's structure and competitive environment. Analyzing driving forces has 2 steps: identifying what the driving forces are and assessing the impact they will have on the industry. Many events can affect an industry powerfully enough to qualifying as driving forces. Some are unique and specific to a particular industry situation, but many drivers of change fall into general category affecting different industries simultaneously. Some of the categories or examples of drivers are the internet and the new e-commerce opportunities
Now
and
again,
threats
they've
it
copy
breeds into.
pasted. Yeah, this is so horrible. This is the same thing which is there in the textbook. Okay. Now you can write the driving forces. Some of the common are internet, this, that, and all. How many they've given you, right? These, but you write the general forces. But have they written the special forces for cloth industry?
No, sir.
Then you'll
No,
have
sir.
to write that on your own. How many have they given for the general ones? Internet, then
There are 8 out here.
what are they? Internet, then these are the
Increasing
same.
globalization,
Increasing globalization, then
product innovation, marketing, entry or exit of firms, changes in cost.
Okay, then you'll have to use your common sense. So these are the general ones, and then the specific ones relating to the cloth industry means you can write
change in fashion.
Change in fashion. They have to be the change in fashion which is happening. Change in cloth quality and growth of the cotton industry and more comfortable wear. Correct or no? See, cheaper labor available in other countries and shifting of manufacturing hubs to Bangladesh and Nepal. Like that, you just make 3 or 4 courses. That is, so DH Sridhar has to take into consideration these general factors and these specific factors to the cloth industry or to the cloth.
So in the question they've asked only the common driving forces.
They've told that. What to read
Yes,
the
sir.
question?
Sridhar, who is running a medium-sized cloth manufacturing business in Panipat, wishes to understand the driving forces that trigger change. He has sought advice from you and wishes to know common driving.
Okay, only common, no? But
Yes,
it
sir.
doesn't harm if you write specific driving forces. Common driving forces are just, that means it's just the question. They've just put that layer on top, no, Sridhar, right? Then it doesn't make a difference. No?
Yes,
You could have directly asked what are common driving forces.
Yes.
Okay, anyway. So this is what they are doing is they are just taking it from the textbook and copying pasting. But I thought you have to be a little more innovative in your answers, right? Anyway, go to the next question.
Yes, so next is direct. Explain the difference between 3 levels of strategy formation.
What are they? Read the things. They are the.
They've given in the paragraph format, sir.
Read it.
A typical large organization is a multi-divisional organization that competes in several different businesses. It has separate self-contained divisions to manage each of these. There are 3 levels of strategies in management of business: corporate, business,
Okay,
and
this
functional.
okay. I've explained this. This is direct, so you'll be able to manage, right? Okay,
Yes,
next
sir.
question.
Yes.
Anjana.
Strategic decisions are different in nature than all other decisions. In the light of the statement, explain major dimensions of strategic decisions.
Basically, they want you to explain the features of strategic decision making. This is also directly. They've just given you a statement and you'll have to explain what's the meaning of strategic decision making and the features of strategic decision Again, this is a
Nikki.
direct. Okay, next one.
Yes.
Ah,
Mr. Vicky Verma, a Gwalior-based entrepreneur, has entered into an exclusive retail deal with an Italian company selling Fantasy 3D, a hologram LED fan, which is being used for advertising at public places. Mr. Verma procured a total of 500 units of the product and paid upfront as per the seller's purchase. This resulted in blocking of his working capital significantly, and the shipment is expected in a month. Meanwhile, his continued efforts of establishing relations with the marketing heads of corporates resulted in a series of meetings where he demonstrated his specialized product knowledge by changing the hologram images to personalized basis specifications of the customer. The management of the big automotive company was impressed with the quality and adaptability of the product and awarded a contract of one to be displayed in the automaker's showrooms, identify and explain the product promotion strategy adopted by Mr. Verma.
product promotion strategy. Read the answer, Pradyumna.
Yes, sir. Mr. Vicky Verma established personal contacts with the potential buyers of the product and persuaded the marketing department over several physical meetings and was finally able to make sales. The personal relation establishment and physical demonstration indicates that Mr. Verma used the personal selling method of promotion. Modern marketing is highly promotional oriented and includes personal selling, advertising, publicity, and sales promotion.
So
Personal
basically, this
selling
personal,
involves
yeah.
face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, okay. The last one is only important, product promotion. So this is personal selling. All that blocking of 1 lakh working capital and all, I thought it was a finance strategy and it went on to be a
Marketing.
so what all rubbish they ask, no? But this is personal selling. You all know the 4 steps, right? Advertising, personal selling, publicity, and which was the 4th one? Sales promotion. What it is? Sales
Promotion.
promotion. Correct or no? Actually, I feel this is personal selling also combined with sales promotion because his demonstrations, right, which he's doing in some exclusive showroom. Okay, not for Mickey Verma, it's personal selling. For the company, it will be sales promotion where they'll show the holographic.
Images.
Yeah, in different words. So that will be point of purchase. So anybody who wants to see that LED fan, they can buy it. Okay, go to the next one quickly. We're running out of time.
Yes,
We've already
sir.
run out
The
of time.
next one is direct again. Distinguish between strategy formulation and strategy implementation.
Forget about this. Then
And again, it's direct, elucidate, expanded marketing mix.
you all know this, no? Product mix plan. How many questions are they giving from chapter 6, man? This is getting scary. They give sales promotion. They're given this also. 10 marks already. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Then next one. You all know the marketing mix. All the 7 don't write only the 4 P's. Huh? Product, price, place, promotion. Also the 3 P's for service. Physical evidence, process, and people. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So don't confine yourself only to 4 P's. Next one.
Yes, sir. Next is sixth question. Bunch Private Limited is dealing in multi-product like electronics and FMCG and are having outlets in different cities and markets across India. Due to scale of operation, it is having technical difficulty in dealing with distinct product line and markets, especially in coordination and control related problems. Identify and suggest an ideal organizational structure for Bunch Private Limited in resolving the problem.
Okay, so this is the organizational structure. This is from chapter. Again, chapter 8 has 10 marks. Strategic formulation and strategic implementation difference in this one. Read this answer quickly, Pradyumna. We've run out of time.
Yes, sir. To deal with problems facing by Bunch Private Limited, we suggest multi-divisional structure for the organization.
Okay. You all understood multi-divisional structure, then you'll explain what is multi. Why is multi-divisional? Because it has coordination problems with different cities. Yeah, so that is a multi-divisional organizational
structure.
Okay, go to the next one.
Yes, so last one, explain and brief the various bases of differentiation strategy.
Yeah, the differentiation strategy, you all remember this was in the business level strategies, cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. Remember? So you'll have to discuss the various types of differentiation, cost differentiation, and product differentiation. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one is?
That's it.
That's it, sir.
That's it. So I hope you
Yes.
all have got a brief idea of how to go. So many case studies, right? So in every question of 10 marks, there is one case study, one normal question, one case study, one normal question. But all the case studies, the underlying part is, if you understand it, you will be able to, because the answer is just copy and paste, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I will meet you all for the R2R session. I hope you all understood how the format is and how it goes around this paper. Please go through this, go through the EIS papers also. Nara might have discussed the papers, right, with you yesterday or something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
just go through this. So the same thing. Okay, all the best. Keep studying well and thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much.